Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, wielding the magic remote to start the video. And today is the last day of Calvinball, and I traditionally try to do a layout that has all the points. I'm not going to have you sit through absolutely every point, but I'll tell you kind of what I'm going to do. Since this is the original lift, I have cut a bunch of triangles out of papers that have images that will get me points. And as an example, washi tape gets me a point. So I put some washi tape on some white packaging paper and cut a triangle out of it. Memorabilia gets you a point. So I punched through one of our name tags that we got when we went to Scottish Rite, the children's hospital, for to see Ava. And this has the benefit of having a black and white photo of me, so I get a point for an extra photo, a point for a photo of me, and a point for it being black and white, and a point for it being memorabilia. Okay, I think I may have said that. I've got a rocket. I actually punched through a sticker sheet of geotags. I've got a map there. I actually was able to punch a triangle out of a doily. I've got balloons out of mulberry paper. It's a really beautiful handmade paper, and this one has a gold foil running through it. It's just gorgeous on either which side you use. I've got stars and plaid and undersea things. All of these crown feathers. All of these get points, and so those are going to be the points on my star. The center of my star is going to be a shaker pocket. So I'm first, before I go on to the shaker pocket, I'm going to do that. You get a point for creating your own background. So I'm going to do the same kind of ombre that I did yesterday, but with different coloring mechanism. Let me put that off to the side there. I've scribbled some Vicki Boutin crayons. This is the lemon yellow and the, I don't know what she calls them, but lemon yellow and a more orangey yellow. So let me put those aside, and I'm just going to kind of brush down, and the dark part's going to be at the top, and it's going to fade. Let me get the triangles off because I really don't want to color them. I'm able to cover a lot of the points using these using papers, but there are obviously some things like wood veneer and things like that you kind of have to, or metallic objects or paper clips, things like that. Although if I had had a pattern paper that had pictures of paper clips, and I have one in my girl supplies that has bobby pins, but I don't think I have any paper clips. So this is the darker color that's gonna fade down, and now I'm just gonna add a lot of water to this so that it kind of weakens the strength of the color as it goes down. And I think this will make a kind of a bright, sunny background for the everything else that's going to go on. I'm running out of water there. And what I plan to do is I'll assemble the shaker pocket and glue it on, and I'll start gluing a lot, well, let me show you my photo. Okay, here's my shaker pocket. The photo I want to use is one of the state of my work table. And I should have shown you what the original looked like. I may put that in my, when I post it. But I ran it through the waterlog application on my phone, and it created this amazing color. Right here, I have the light on that I'm holding this under that I film with, and it's a white light. So it really translated that as white and colored that area blue. My husband's lamp is on up here near the couch is right behind this table, or in front of this table, as you may look at it, and his light's on. It casts a warm light, so it translated that as yellow. And then I've got my iris box here with my Chamel stuff that had a lot of point giver things, and then I have 2 boxes on a chair at the end of the table that hold my like small embellishments that are kind of categorized and organized, and a lot of that came to fruition last year after Calvinball, when I had trouble kind of keeping those things together. So anyway, this is my photo. I'm obviously going to have to cut it down so that I don't cover my entire shaker pocket, but this may tell me that if I want my photo here, the shaker pocket, the sunshine needs to be over to this side. My shaker pocket is not going to be as large. I'll have to place it where, you know, I can get as many of the triangles as possible. I may have to double layer my triangles in order to get all the points on, but I'll figure all that out later. So let me finish it would be good if I held my talking until my layout was drying. I'm going to start going up from the bottom here. So this makes, just like it did yesterday on the little Project Life card that I had, just adding water kind of allows you to make a really effective ombre. And it's just a coincidence that I'm using yellow. It works with the kind of the sunshiny theme. Okay, I think I've got everything covered. Let me do one little bit more of the crayon there. I don't want to get so much that I have it dark down at the bottom, because I really want a true kind of color fade, but I don't want anything to be white on here. Okay, now this is going to have to dry. Okay, so that's my background. I have used the Mind the Scrap white cardstock here, and in my experience, it will not stay. It's kind of curling a little bit at the corners. It won't stay that way, and even if it is that way when I start assembling the page, it's not going to stay that way once it dries. So I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to curl this guy up and put my paintbrush where I can get to it to wash. And now I'm going to work on, first of all, I guess I'm going to, well, no, at some point I have to decide how big this photo is going to be. I really don't want to cut out. I love this effect of the warm light showing through there, so I don't want to cut out all of that. I'm going to make it thinner, but not necessarily any shorter. I don't want to lose this part, which is my shelf that has like thousands of things. It's got my inks, and then right in this area is a tub that I have my labels in. This is a shelf that has tags and Fiskars fuse cuts and acrylic overlays. And all of those things are labeled, and they've been in the same containers for years, so I know exactly where to go for them. And this stays in place, as does this, whereas the table gets completely cleared off so I can serve dinner every night. Okay, so this photo has to be matted. So I'm going to use this yellow cardstock that came in a Mind the Scrap kit a while back. I've got lots of Mind the Scrap patterns in here. I pulled from a bag I have of scraps left from prior kits. And I do so much with those kits. I know if it says I need something, if the rule calls for a certain item, I kind of know my papers from Mind the Scrap, and I know which ones I have scraps of. Okay, matted photo. That's going to determine a lot. Just leave that on the floor, guys. Okay. I kind of wish that I had made this a little bit brighter. What I've done is I got my largest circle die that it's actually not my largest, but I didn't discover that until after I'd already cut this. So I cut a piece of acetate from some packaging, and I put the next smaller die inside so that it would make a ring, and then I cut a background that I thought would have all the colors of possible sequins I'd want to do. So then I lined it with, I have this foam tape, and it's a little wider than I needed, so I cut a strip, cut it, ripped it down the middle, and then made these little things to go all around. Now, before I take that off, I'm going to put the sequins in. I've got these little tiny star sequins. They're a Martha Stewart sequin. They're a pretty yellow. This is also Martha Stewart. These are little tiny hearts. And then I have these, which I think are also Martha Stewart. They came in a set of about 12 of those little bottles, maybe. So those are a larger, lighter yellow. Wow, it's pouring down rain. I can actually hear it hitting the deck right outside. And then I'm gonna add, just for accent, I'm gonna add some of these green sequins, and there's a little bit of teal in there. Yes? I'm filming, guys. Okay, so I've got a little bit of teal. There's some metallic in there. It's really pretty. I don't know if those stars and hearts are going to show. But next thing I'm going to do is, while keeping those, or trying to keep those in the center, I'm going to peel the backing off the tape. And if the reason I'm trying to keep those in the center is because I don't want them to touch the tape. And I will also tell you that I've never done that successfully. I've never kept the sequins off the tape entirely. When you do this, it kind of tends to move the sequins around. And see, like that, when it sticks. Let me see if I have any better luck with the tweezers. Okay, I can kind of hold things down that way. This is painful to watch, I'm sure. And if I were smarter and or more industrious or had more time, I would learn how to edit these kinds of, maybe speed this up. And since I'm not in any particular challenge, nothing on the order of load or Calvinball in the month of April, that's when I watch videos, and it's also when I may take some classes and do some, at least learn some of the basics that I want to learn. Now, I'm going to shake this around. A lot of those sequins are facing this way, which is not the direction I'm going to want them to face. Now I'm going to put this, let me move that into the viewing spot. That should, let me make sure it's sealed all the way around. I think I did a reasonably decent job of, okay, there's my shaker pocket, and I think it's cute. Not quite sure what orientation I'm going to put on here, but let's bring back my not yet dry background. I'm going to kind of reverse curl it just so that it doesn't bother me or you even just looking at it. Okay, so here's our ombre background. This is going to be the center of the sunshine. I need to be sure that these guys will fit. So I'm thinking there, and let's see, I need this. I want it as much down in this area as possible. So that's my measuring device there. And I'm going to put this here so that I'll know kind of where, if I put any of these triangles back here on this side, this kind of obscures it. I'm going to put this, maybe what I may do is this, and let the triangles overlap. How's that? No, don't like that at all. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this with some of that tape so that I'll know where the triangles need to stop. Wrong scissors. I don't cut. The reason I'm doing it with the tape is that I want it as high as this guy. And I could pop that up more, but I'm actually not going to pop up the triangles. So let me kind of move it off like that. So I'll run this here and here. That's just about. Okay. Put that there for future use. Let me get that light back on. Okay, I'm gonna adhere this so that I kind of know where it's gonna be situated. Okay. And let's try shaking that. That's kind of cool, right? Okay. Those aren't necessarily the ones that'll go there. I'm going to take the tape off this. And I have kind of scattered around the table. I'm not sure how much of that you can see. I have the triangles, and I'll put the triangles on, and as I do that, I will kind of check off the points that, that those triangles cover, and then that'll help me determine the individual things I need. For instance, in the triangles, I'm not sure if I have a hedgehog. So I have a hedgehog here. I know I don't have a wood veneer. I need a frame. There's the word lucky in a word strip. I have a camel and a leprechaun. I know I didn't have any papers that had those. I have a paper clip that is also a pineapple. I think I have pineapples in here, but I'd still want to do that. Okay, so let's start putting on triangles, and I'm just going to adhere them a little bit, I'm going to tuck them underneath this, and I'm just going to randomly, whoops, I'm sorry about that. I'm reaching around things, and I've given myself a small space. I've got a star here. I actually have stars inside here, so I don't need this star. I'm actually going to reject those, since I don't think I'm going to have room for all of them. I'm going to reject those that I know I don't need. Okay, let me put this back up into, I'm going to use this photo of me from the name tag. I'm going to kind of do that there. I'm going to do the washi tape one. I pulled some packaging out of the trash and use that. I'll do the mulberry paper. Let's see. I don't necessarily need this one. I'll put that off to the side. I do need acetate, and I cut a triangle out of some acetate paper that has little orange hearts. And that's good. Okay, let me put some tape there. Get it under there where that it will not go to the end. If the points, if some of these are adhered more under the shaker pocket than others, so that the points come out differently, that's fine with me, because I intend to do some maybe cutting some down where I can use. So that's another criteria for choosing the ones that go full size, is ones that I wouldn't have to cut down. This one has a crown on it, and I really want that crown to show. I have one here that is it's a silvery, it's a snowflake, and there's a snowflake point to be gotten, so I'm gonna kind of put that there. I'm not really worrying too much about the colors I'm choosing. I've got crosses here, which is kind of for me, a faith-based symbol, and I think this is from one of the Bella Boulevard faith-based lines. So I'll put that there. Okay, I kind of like it, but it's obvious that I'm running out of space. If I put that there, it actually makes it longer. So, but I do want this undersea kind of look there. As I said, I'm not going to make you sit through all of these. If I did this, let me go turn this around. I can see right here that this one is not staying stuck down where I want it to be. But I do need I need it out as far as possible so that it shows that that's a photo of me. So let me just cut, okay, there's an anchor there which also works for a nautical symbol, and that would mean I don't have to use the paper that has anchors. So let me, if I do this, the anchor, I lose the anchor anyway. So I'm gonna do that, and I just cut off the part that has, as you can see, this is going to take a while, so I'm not gonna do it all here. And to be honest, I'm not sure what I'll do when I get around and I really want to, I really, need to add more. Let me get this kind of cut down a bit. This is the triangle I cut out of a doily, and I think I'm going to need liquid glue to get it stuck down, and I need it stuck down under here. I'm just going to kind of do that and tuck that under and then roll that over. Okay, that works. This is a camping related triangle, and I don't really want to lose the little campfire there, although with the tents I probably didn't need that. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. Actually, the fire doesn't show anyway, so I am going to lose it, but I'm going to keep it over here because it has the adhesive on it, and with a campfire, it's ready to use on another layout that also needs that camping point. And these tents show, and that's just fine. Every once in a while, I need to use something that's just a pattern, and this is what I'll use as a platform for some of the bits that I have to add, like the wood veneer and things like that. So I will use this. I'm hoping that that's not, I wasn't planning to use that as, see, that's going off the wrong direction. I'll have to work on fixing that later, but basically you get the idea. I have some snowmen and some houses and a frog and some ice cream and some ducks and some vellum butterflies. The vellum might be a good paper that I could use to kind of bridge some of these back here. So I will work on getting the rest of this assembled. I've got my little turtle that I'm going to add afterwards, and I'll do a checklist of the rules, but you get the idea, and I'll post the finished layout. In the meantime, I've got my larger than 4x6 photo, my second photo that's in black and white, and that's on memorabilia. So I've got a lot of points covered just right here. And I have my plans for a title are you get a bonus if your title is a song or if you use a number in it. So I thought I'd have 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then 3 or 1 for the money, 2 for the show, and then and 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and then down here like something about finishing Calvinball. So it's a Calvinball layout about Calvinball and about the mess it has created in my world. But what a pretty watercolor photo is made. I've got my ombre background that I made myself, and pretty much I'm going to try to cover all the rules. So thank you for watching, and I'm sorry that the layout isn't finished, but you'll see it soon enough. And this was a perfect, absolutely perfect layout to lift for today, the last day of Calvinball. I absolutely love everything about this Bella Boulevard, and I have so many of those pattern papers. I could almost do that exact layout. I think I have these kind of waves and so forth. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and it won't be a Calvinball day, so my layout will probably end up being a whole lot more minimalistic, and I'm going to love that. So bye. Let me pull my little where's my remote? Here it is. I'm gonna put the remote in the